Here it is, sweet cherry tomato and roasted pepper soup. Couple of key ingredients clearly you're going to need, as the name suggests. You need some bell peppers, yellow, red. You can use other colours if you can't get hold of them, but these add a little bit of sweetness to it, in particular the yellow pepper. We're going to add some sweet cherry tomatoes in there as well. A couple of extra ingredients, what I call the doctor, if you will, of all ingredients from nature, and that's garlic. We're going to add that in, so ridiculously good for you, and of course some red onion. Now the red onion I've chopped already because I have learnt in the filming of these videos that should I start to chop the red onion, then I start to cry. It affects me quite a lot. So anyway, here's one I prepared earlier. Unlike the other soups, if you've been watching them as part of the soup and juice me plan, instead of putting them in a pan and then sweating them out, what we're going to do is we're going to roast them first. This is a kind of something a little bit different, but it just tastes so delicious. We're just going to literally add these in, and then we're going to prepare the peppers for, I mean, again, very simple. I was going to say we don't want to make a meal of it, but we are literally making a meal of it. You know what I'm saying? And we just want to, we're going to blend this until smooth anyway. All we're looking to do really is just remove the seeds. That's all we want to do. So I would take that bit out altogether and then chop this ready to go in the pan. And you know what? It's that you don't need to cut these into small pieces. You can literally put them in. I would just chop them in half, literally about that size, roughly, something like that. Again, you don't want it should be simple. The thing is about making soups or any kind of dinner like this, it should be quick, it should be easy, it should be simple. It shouldn't be a lot of paraphernalia, as they say. Do you know what? All these things are so simple when you just break it down. I'm sure people want to make cooking and making soups and stuff more complicated than they actually are. So there we are. Cut those down, cut those down. I'm a big bell pepper fan anyway. I love them on salads generally. They give this sweet texture. They're loaded with vitamin C. They're loaded with minerals as well. You've got to know that you're not just making a soup. What we're doing is we're adding the best form of vitamins and minerals and bioflavonoids and phytonutrients, which is plant chemicals going in. I'm into, as much live food as we can. And remember, look, even when we roast this, it's still going to retain a great deal of the vitamins and minerals inside. Now, what you'll notice as well, if this is the first time you've seen me chopping things, you'll notice that my chopping skills are really brilliant. There's not really a great deal, if I'm honest, between me and Jamie. That's Mr. Oliver. We went pretty much to the same school. I can do it with this bit if it helps. Well, I can make the noise. I don't think it's quite the same, is it? Let's be fair. Wouldn't you love to be able to do that? And I'm sure, I can train to do that, but life's too short, so I'm not going to go in and train to do that. Anyway, they go in. Wonderful. Missing the je ne sais quoi, the garlic here. Let's just move this to one side. I normally love to work clean. I'm obviously going against what I normally like to do at this stage. Garlic, couple of cloves. It's got skin on. You want to take the skin off. So the easy way to do it is just at the end, the fatter end, if you will, of the garlic. You just want to take that off. And then with the side of the knife, you want to go down, crush it, and then the skin should, in theory, just beautifully peel away, which it is doing now. Otherwise, you can spend a long time trying to get that skin off. And you just want to add the garlic. There you go. And that's going to add so much flavor. Same again with the other clove. Get that down. And then just use the side of the knife. Crush that down. And then just remove the skin. There it is. I actually love the smell of garlic. I know not everybody's a big smelling of garlic fan, but I actually love it. Now, I've already preheated the oven. And what we need to do just before we put that in, as the oven's at 180 or gas mark 4, and what we're going to do is a little bit of vegetable oil. We don't want to go crazy, but we just want a little bit of vegetable oil just over the top, just a little drizzle over the top. There we are, just a little drizzle over the top, and just give that a nice little shake. Just move it around if you want, and you can spread some of that oil around if you haven't put it evenly, like me, around it. There we are. And what we're going to do is pop it in the oven for 15 minutes. Put it in there, come back 15 minutes later, and I'll show you what to do next. Okay, they've been in for 15 minutes, absolutely perfect. All we need to do now is make the stock. Decent stock cube. Get one without as many chemicals going in as possible, or sugars or whatever. A few suggestions are on the app and in the book. All you need to do is pour 1 pint onto your stock cube, Other measurements are available in Europe. You can look them up. A pint is equivalent to something else I should know. I should have looked it up, didn't I, really? Anyway, 1 pint, roughly. There we are, perfect. I've added a little bit more as well. I don't like my soups to be too thick sometimes. But if you're on day 5 of the Soup and Juice Me plan, you might want as thick as you can possibly get it. So I appreciate that. Just make sure that's nicely dissolved. Wonderful. Put that to one side. And now we are going to get our lovely veggies out of the oven. They are, oh, look at those. The thing is though, you see, I suppose the downside in a way, if you are on day 5 of the Soup and Juice Me or Juice Yourself Slim if you're doing the book plan, and you see in particular the tomatoes, those cherry tomatoes when they're roasted, are just one of my favourite foods on earth. All we're going to do now is transport them into the pan. Couldn't be easier. So we just, look at it, just looks so delicious. And if you notice how much we've got here, listen, even if you're on day 5 of Soup and Juice Me, this is enough for 2. For 2 people, all right? You might want to eat the lot. Do not. Make sure that once you've made a bowl of this stuff, that you only have a bowl. It really does make a lot of soup. And again, if there's not 2 of you having soup in the evening for whatever reason, the reason why we're making a double batch, of course, is so that you can just freeze it. Oh, it looks so nice, even in the pan. And now, all we need to do is pour the stock in. What we're going to do is we're going to turn it to highest heat. Pour your stock in, and all we're going to do now, we want to bring this to the boil. It'll take about a minute, minute and a half. As soon as you see the bubbles coming, then we're going to simmer. Let's have a little look. There it is, boiling. As soon as it's reached that point, bring it straight down. We're going to simmer this now, about number 2, just for about 10 minutes. That's been simmering for 10 minutes. Looks about perfect. Turn off the heat. All we do now, blend it and serve. Now I'm using a hand blender. Clearly, if you've got a jug type blender, pour all the contents from the pan into your jug blender, whisk it on. We're going to blend it till smooth anyway. I just happen to like these little hand blenders. I think they're really quite neat. All those beautiful roasted vegetables, the peppers, the garlic, tomato, all blending together. There we go. There we are. Looks amazing, smells amazing, and I know it is definitely going to taste amazing. Get yourself a little bowl. I have, and I do know, I have the cutest soup bowls in the world, there's no question. I love all the soups on the plan. All 7, beautiful. 7, sent from heaven in a way. This is out the park. There are 2 on this plan that I would say are just slightly above the rest, and this is one of them for me. But again, everyone has different tastes, clearly. Now, oh, look at that. It just looks amazing, smells amazing. I know it's going to taste amazing. I always add just a little bit of pepper, just a tiny bit. You don't want to dwarf all of the flavors just with some salt or pepper. What have we added here? We've got no added dairy going in. There's no chemicals going in at all. This is pure nature. And every now and then, especially in winter, you need something a little bit more than the juice, something a little bit warm, a little bit rich, a little bit spicy. Do you know what? Get the ingredients to this bad boy now. If you haven't had a soup in years and years and years, it's a bit like every now and then when you haven't eaten fruit and you cut an orange into segments. You ever done that? And then all of a sudden you eat a little bit of an orange. You did as a kid and you went, why don't I do this more often? This is the same. You know, why don't I make soups more often? Because you think they're going to taste like the bland stuff you get in a carton or a can. And this is just a different world. When you make it fresh, you can just taste the red pepper. Oh, without question. Just one of my faves on the program. It appears on day 5. And do you know what? You're going to wish it appeared a little bit earlier on the program. I'm telling you now, it is that good. Bon appetit. Oh, wow. Do you know what? Guys, genuinely, that's ridiculous. I'm telling you now, the flavors come out in that like nothing else. I think that's my number 1.